So we are ready to start our webinar today. For those who don't know me, my name is Marcia. I work here for Scriptcase on sales department. I used to run webinars and demos just to share a little bit of Scriptcase with you guys. And today I'm here to present you a new template system we've released yesterday on Scriptcase. It's a system for healthcare and schedules, I would say like this. But then I will present you here step by step so you can understand how to what the project is and how you can customize using a Scriptcase. Okay. So this is a live session. You are free to ask questions. You can stop me anytime. I will answer with my best. Okay. Okay, guys, so just presenting you a little bit about the system. We have healthcare Scriptcase. It is basically a template, okay, for you to use to build this type of systems for clinics, hospitals, and doctors to create medical schedules and manage electronic health records of patients. So the template has all the essential page pre-made by us, and it's open for you to customize. And I'm going to show you here all the options we are offering inside this system. And we have different users. We have admin. So as admin, you can control the system, the settings. You can configure some special roles inside the system. So you have, for example, you are the developer, you will deliver the system, and the system will have an admin, and this person will be able to control the system. And then you have receptionists to configure patients and schedules for the doctors. You have doctors to check on patients' forms, send for medication, etc. And you have nurses. The nurses will just check the forms and change the status or add medication, and you're going to see that options inside the system. This is just to let you know that we have 4 different levels of users and how easy it is to do with the Scriptcase. Okay, and I'm going to explain how we are dealing with the variables and how we are recognizing the pages according to the logged user. Okay, so then we have the system available in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. This is the languages we use to translate to the systems we send as example, but you can add more languages. I can show you how to do that as well. And available for Scriptcase 9 only. From this release we sent out yesterday, the release 42. Okay, so databases, MySQL, MariaDB, MS SQL, Postgre, DB2, SQLite, and Firebird. So those are the databases. So when you download the system, you can use for all these databases. Okay, so let's go to check here on Scriptcase. First, let me show you on the website. As I said before, you need to have your Scriptcase updated to download the system. If you don't, you can check out the system inside the website. This is for all the systems. You can access our samples area, and there you find all the systems here. If you like the system, you go to your Scriptcase and download to customize. Okay, but here you can just execute and run the system to see the options you have, and then if you like the system, you will be able to download to import inside your Scriptcase. So all the systems that we have inside Scriptcase, they're also here. You can run and check the options to see if it's interesting for you or not. Okay, yeah, regarding the video, I have already questions. I'm recording the session, and I used to upload all the videos to our YouTube page. Okay, if you access here is YouTube Scriptcase videos, you have previous videos, and I'm going to upload this video also within this YouTube channel. You can subscribe so you can have notifications always every time we upload a new video. Okay, so let me go here to my script case. I have already the version updated, as I said before, the version 42, version 9. For this year, we are not planning to release any major version. We are going to release all the new features inside version 9 because we have version 9 prepared for the news, for the new features. So we are not planning to do any major update, just add new options to the current version. And we have a new page on the website. If you go here to download what's new, and here we are adding all the new options. This is like a timeline, and you can see the new features we are adding to the version 9. Okay, so this is a new page. We released it on the website just for you to follow what we are adding as new feature to Scriptcase. So here you can see already the new system template released. Okay, and you can see all the implementations. You have the changelog, but then changelog you have more. You have fixes and etc. And here it's just for news. Okay, so if you want to follow what is, when we are going to add videos and examples, etc. The idea is to have a better information about this, the new features. Okay. So let me go back here to my version 9. And to use this new system, I'll have to import to my script case. I have already two of them here, two systems I've imported before the presentation, but I'm going to import again so you can see the process, how to import a template system. Okay, so you need to create a new project. And then here we have already the healthcare system. We are going to choose this one. I'm going to change here the name. So when you go to the next step, it's going to skip languages and teams because it's a template. You don't need to set, it's already included on the project. And you have two options to create the project. You can use, because Scriptcase will provide applications and database tables. Okay, so for applications, okay, for database tables, you need to choose where you are going to store the database tables. I can store inside my own Scriptcase directory, or I can store using a database I have. If I choose to use my own database, I will have to choose here between one of this, MySQL, Oracle, etc. If I want just to run and see and copy something, if I'm not planning to customize, I can just use the default connection, which is SQLite, and then Scriptcase will import to a directory, and I'll be able to run and see everything in a development mode. Okay, so we have the applications generated. Let's run the project. I'm using my Scriptcase online. It is hosted inside our hosting service, scriptcase.host. This is a hosting service we have for Scriptcase. It's optimized for Scriptcase. You can use, you have options for you to host Scriptcase. And this is where I am running my Scriptcase. So I'm going to open the project and explain what the project does, and then we can go back to Scriptcase and check on the applications. I'm planning to be here with you for about 30 or 40 minutes. So maybe we won't have time to see all the applications, but I'll try to show you as much as I can. So first here in the login screen, we have 3 different languages, as I said before, and it is recognizing that my browser is in Portuguese, so that's why I see the project in Portuguese. We have this function here to recognize the language according to the browser, so this is something nice that you can copy. Choose English, because I want to show you the system in English, and I will log as admin. As I said, we have 4 different users. We have admin, doctors, nurses, and receptionists, okay? So I'm going to log as admin first to show you all the options we have within the system. And As a system template, the goal from our development team is just to provide examples for you guys to use for other projects. You might say, okay, in my here I don't use like this, or in my country we have this law that you need to control the system like, I don't know, then you need to customize yourself. The idea for us is just to provide you an example. Okay, so first let me just change here the language. Okay, so first we have this dashboard we added with some charts and index for you to see some numbers of the system, and we are using new features from Scriptcase 9, for example the indexes and the new type of charts, etc. So here we are just counting the total of patients, seeing the number of diagnostics we did, comparing the current month with the last month, schedules done and priority schedules. Then we have charts according to the categories, diagnoses, doctors, just to compare according to the doctor, the one who did more or did less. And then we have here the schedules of the month, if it's growing or so. This is just, as I said, examples of how you can use a dashboard from Scriptcase or how you can customize the applications. And then we have here the menu, and one thing we have for this menu is that it's a dynamic menu, so it's generated differently. It's not a regular menu where you have the items, fixed items, because here, for example, if I'm an admin, I can go to doctors and I can add a new doctor. So if I add a new doctor, I need to see this doctor inside the menu. So that's why we have the dynamic menu, because we are changing the system according to the use. So if the options here will change according to the use, it's not possible to have a fixed menu. Otherwise, I would have to change the system back to development every time I had to add a new item. So the idea is to add parameters so I can have the admin as we have here, and the admin will be able to add options or remove options to the system. Okay, so let's check the parameters we have before we show all the things. We have here the parameters for the treatments, so you can add or remove treatments. We have some dummy records inside these tables, the tables we imported. So you can remove everything and create as your own, or you can delete or add new tables as you want. Okay, so let me go back here to Scriptcase quickly just to show you how the database is organized. So we have ER diagram just to show you the tables that we have. Okay, so we have here the events. Okay, and then we have medical history, the users. This is generated by Scriptcase. Everything you have SEC users, SEC groups, SEC group apps. This is generated by Scriptcase security model. Okay, and then we have table of nurses, table of medical history, patients, event priority. Then we have doctors. We have the main events, and we have where else? The time for the appointments. And I guess this is all. Yeah, this is all. So it's a very small database, as you can see. Let me go back here to the system. And then here inside the system as admin, I'll be able to add or remove items to these tables. The table treatments, I can add or remove treatments options. For example, this one, the description, we have the description in English, in Portuguese, and in Spanish. This is also to show you how to add the options so the customer can customize inside the system the languages as well. You have the option of the specialty, for example, general clinic, ped, or work medicine, etc. So you can add or remove these options as well. And then we have here available times. So for example, you have a clinic, and this clinic is going to be from Monday to Friday from 8 to 6. So this is going to be a rule for the system. When you create the system, you have to ask, okay, what's the working hours and the working days? It's from Monday to Friday from 8 to 6, and then you will come here and set this parameter. In our case, we have from 8 to 6, and we have intervals of 15 minutes. So we can have an appointment each 15 minutes. Okay, or you can have each half an hour or each hour. It's going to be according to you. Okay, so this application just for you to add the times, and then each doctor will have the personal schedule. So here we have the doctors, and when I add a new doctor, or if I edit a doctor, I'll see here that I have the name, specialty, treatment, and then the times, days and times. Okay, so for example, Megan, it's going to be available from 8 to 12 p.m. on Monday, and then on Tuesday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it changes according to the doctor. So you will add first, just going back here, the available time here, it's for the general system, for the clinic, for example, and the doctors, each doctor will have the time according to the doctor. Okay, so here we have added this form. We are using here end-to-end relationship to create here the days and the times according to the doctors, and this is going to change the calendar for each doctor. Okay, I'm going to show you here and after. Okay, so we know how to set the times, and then when we have the times, we can set when the doctor is available. So for example, Megan is going to be available. We are now today 16th. Let's say that there is a congress for Megan, and she's going to be available only from 2nd to 6th, from just for this week. So we need to generate the events according to the to this doctor. So we go here to schedule, events generator, and we have this application. This is a control application we use to create events for the doctors. So let's run here the calendar for Megan. So this is Megan's calendar. I have here the times, and I have some records already included, and I can see that I have only a few times available. Green means that it's available. So if it's not available, if I try to add record, for example, here, I will see the form, but the button for me to save the record, it's not going to be available. This is included inside Scriptcase form, because then Megan is not available for this time, because she said that during Wednesdays she's going to be available only from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, and from this available times, we have only 1 p.m. available for a new schedule. So I can go here, and since this schedule is available, I will be able to add a new record. So let's add here a test. The patient is going to be Diego. Description, and it's going to be for dismissal exam. Okay, and then the priority, if it's low, critical, high, the status, etc. I can add here the time, if it's full day, if it's recurrent, etc. Let's save, and now we have the schedule for Diego. Okay, so this time is not available anymore. So if I want to create new events for Megan, I'll have to go back here to the system, use this events generator, and choose, for example, Megan, and say, okay, she's going to be available, let's see, in April 1st until April 9th. Okay, and then I will generate new events. The end date, okay, let's do it again. April 1st until April 9. Okay, so I've added 92 new events to Megan, so I'll be able to schedule more patients for Megan. Okay, let me see here. I have a question from Stefan. Is there a setting for the calendar to show only days from Monday to Friday, work week? Yes, you have to set it inside the calendar. We are going to see the applications as well. I'm just presenting here the system itself, and then I can show you a little bit of the applications. So everything we have here, it can be customized by you because it's just options we are adding as template. The names and even the options we translated here, you can change everything. Okay, so just finishing here, we know how to add the times for the doctor, how to add the events. We know how to add doctors, nurses. It's the same for you to add a new nurse. And we have also the option to add patients. So for the patients, you have here a couple of patients, and you can open, for example, this one, and then you have the patient information, and you have here the medical history. So within the medical history, this is a form from Scriptcase, and this is a grid with nested grid. Okay, so you have this status, waiting medication. We can change the status here and put another status and save. Or you can also change here inside this form and change the status again. Okay, so have this two ways to change the status. As you can see, we change here, and you can add a new one. So a new record for the medical history. So let's say that this patient is coming again. So it has new complaints and blah 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 blah. So I need to send this patient to the nursery for medicine. Okay, so it's a schedule, add, and then if I log as nurse, I will see that I have this patient, and then I'll have to give the medication, and it's going to appear. The information about the medication is going to appear in here. Okay, we are going to log as doctor and nurse for you guys to see. So we have the dashboard and we have the schedule of the day. Inside the schedule of the day, I'm logged as admin. I can see all the doctors. Okay, if I'm logged as doctor, I will see only my own schedule. So here I can see, for example, Megan, and then I can see all the options, all the schedules. Okay. Just forgot to show you the menu, but then I'm sure that the menu we have to see on Scriptcase as well. But since we have a dynamic menu, we added to this application an option for the admin to customize the menu. If you're logged as admin, you are able to customize the dynamic menu. So you don't need to ask to the developer to add new items to your menu. So here we have the parent items, so settings, records, or etc. And then you have here the applications and the sub-items. So for example, form treatment is parent of the ID2. The ID2 is, is the parent of ID1. So ID1 is settings, okay? So etc. You can customize here the menu items according to this logical, and we are generating the menu dynamically. Okay, so let me see if we saw everything here. Okay, settings. Okay, here schedule. Okay, yeah, this is security. It's just the normal security from Scriptcase. We have user groups and everything if you want to add a new user or if you want to add a new group. So for this system we have only 4 groups, but we could have, for example, the group patients as well. So you could come here to groups, and we have the group admin, attendant, doctor, and nurse. So we could have a new group for patients, and then I will add the new group and set the privileges according to this new group. We have here the option for user groups to set the users according to the group, and we have the option for groups applications to set the applications according to the group. So I can say, okay, group attendants can see this or this, or the option update, etc. Okay, this is the regular, the default control from Scriptcase secured model, but you can add more as we are doing here for the secured options. Okay, so I will log out and log in now as doctor. So let's log as Paul. Okay, so Paul as a doctor, he can see the dashboard. This is a general dashboard. He can see the schedule of the day just according to himself. He cannot see other schedules, and he can see his own calendar. Okay, so this calendar is being generated by Scriptcase calendar application. It's a new calendar from Scriptcase 9, so you can see it's already responsive and it has many options. Scriptcase creates this calendar using the library Full Calendar. We saw that before in previous webinars, but you can also integrate this with Google Calendar. So for example, if you want to send notifications or emails, we know that Google Calendar has all these options automatic, so it would be easier if you integrate. We didn't do the integration because this is a template, so we need always to have a user. We prefer to do not apply, but the Google integration is very easy. We have other videos showing how to integrate with Google API. You just need to create the API with your calendar and then integrate with the Scriptcase calendar. So if you add a new record here, it's going to be added as well to Google, to the doctor's Google Calendar, and send the notifications. But if you want, you can also create, for example, this is a form application inside the calendar. You could create a button here saying to send an email or send a notification. This is completely possible. Okay. Okay, so as a doctor, what else we can see? We can open the patient and add a new patient, or we can see the patients that we have. Okay, and this is all that the doctor can do. Yeah, change password, and we are removing the admin options from the doctor. And if I log now as nurse, reception, let's do first as receptionist. Okay, so as receptionist, we can see all the schedules from all doctors. So we can add new patients. We can also see all the schedules here as we do with the admin user, because then I'm receptionist, I need to see all doctors. I can also add new doctors or new patients. Okay, so this is what I can do as a receptionist. And the last one is the nurse. Nurse. Okay, and then as nurse, we can see the patient. We don't have our own schedule, but we can see all doctors' schedules. And we can enter to the patient. And for example, that one, I'll be not able, for example, this option was the one we added as admin. I'm going to edit here, and we'll see that complaints, and this is all blocked for nurse. The nurse can only give the medication and change the status. Okay, so when I change here, we are going to have the time and date for the medication, and the doctor will be able to see that this is already in attendance and updated. So this is just explaining you how the system works, so you can see the idea is to provide examples so you can copy to your systems, or to use this system if you have something similar to develop. Okay. Okay, so let's go to Scriptcase now. So I want to show you some applications from this system. The first tip I always like to give about the templates is, for example, how to find an application so you can see and copy from inside Scriptcase. So for example, this application, I go here, I see the frame source code, and then you see the name of the application here. Okay, so with this name, you can go to Scriptcase and search. For this, it's easy because we don't have many applications, but if you go to the samples or any other template system from Scriptcase, you can find the applications like this. So it's easy for you to find the application and see how to copy or customize. Okay, so here we have the dashboard and the charts we are using inside the dashboards. Let me open here the dashboard. Inside the dashboard, we have the indexes. So if I go here, I can see the first index where I'm just counting the amount of patients and I'm not comparing dates. So I have here the layout area where I'm setting that color. I could change to all the color. Let me find here. Okay, and save. Okay, for the second index, we have the table of event, and we are doing a distinct count of value according to the year and month. So then we have that dashboard. Let me run the dashboard so you can see again. This is the dashboard. Okay, so this is the second one. And here we are calling the charts. So this is a link index, link widget, sorry. We have link widget and index widget. So inside the link widget, we just call the applications. If you need to customize the application, then you have to go and change inside the application. For example, we have this category. If I go here, I'm just calling the chart event category. So if I need to change, I'll have to open here the chart event category, and then here inside the chart application, I'll be able to customize the chart itself. So here we have the categories, and this is a count according to the amount of schedules. Let me see the other chart. We have this one with the medical history. Yeah, medical history. Let me run. And we have this one with the event dates. Okay. And the last one, it's the chart event category. So if you want to change type of chart or etc., you can just go here and modify inside the chart. Event date, event doctors. Let me see this one, event doctors. Okay, this one, for example, we have year of date and month according to the doctor. So you would have, for example, a filter inside this chart. This is if you open here, the event date. Oh, this is the event doctors. Sorry, event doctors. Okay, so I want to add a filter, for example. So I can go here to search fields, and then according to the end date. So I go here, edit, and I can add a range or actual period, relative period, seasonal period, and choose the values. If I want to add monthly, for example, so I can have the filter monthly. So I can add more filters here according to the doctor as well. Period, category, creator, doctor. Okay, doctor ID. Let me see if I can have here actual values and look up the doctors. Okay, let me just add here as multi-select. Yes, this search option is very nice. So we have here the chart application with the options. I can select only Megan, January, no records, etc. Okay, so this is how you can customize the dashboard. If you run the dashboard again, you have this chart with the filter here, and in this way you can customize the dashboard. Abel is saying that the only thing he's missing from the project is the integration of the CPT-4 diagnostic code of and procedure collection of Vito. Yeah, but then you can change the, for example, instead of using this one we are using inside the table, you can import this to the database. Yeah. I heard from another customer as well that, for example, in the US, you need to encrypt all the data. You cannot display data like this. It needs to be encrypted. So you could change as well. You could use macros to encrypt the data before you add to database, right? Yeah. The idea is more to provide as a template, and then you guys can customize. Okay, let's see more here. Another application we have very interesting is the login screen always, because then we are using this template. And as you can see, the template healthcare is coming from an external library. So if you go here to tools, external libraries, you see healthcare templates, and then here you have everything. The images, so if you want to customize the images according to your image, you can customize here the background image and the flags. So this is the index where we are building the login screen, so it's just HTML. If you need to customize the names and texts and etc., you will note that we are using this lang variables. So everywhere we are using lang variables for the texts, for the content, because we have a system in different languages. To customize the langs, you can access here localhost application language, and you have the project messages. Let's wait until it loads. Okay, so we have Scriptcase messages. Is everything Scriptcase is translating for you for all applications. And then we have project messages, general messages. This is all messages we are using inside the project, including the ones from the login screen. You can customize here if it's if it's bad, or if you don't like, or if it's wrong. You can just come here and customize. Uh, and as well for the tables, everything you see with TBL, it's coming from the database tables. So we did translate it also. We have translated also the database tables, but you can customize according to your project, or according to your tables. You can add fields or remove fields for the tables. Okay, and we have translated as well the records. As you saw inside the system, we have translated the records as well. Inside the parameters, you can have some records translated. Okay, so let's check the calendar now, because I had a question in the calendar. We have only one calendar, and let me just go back here to the login screen to show you how we are setting the variables. So inside the event, the login screen is being created by Scriptcase secured model, okay? But you can add options. In this case, we are adding variables. Scriptcase only uses the USR login to recognize the logged user, but we are adding more. We are adding the name, email, group ID, group description, because we might use these variables within the system. Okay, so for example, if we go to the calendar application, this is the calendar application. When we create the calendar, we are filtering according to the doctor, right? So if you go here to calendar script init, we are selecting the doctor according to a variable that's being passed with the doctor. So this is also a way for you to filter the calendar application. And we are doing all the validations here. This is just for an error message. And here it's on after update. We are just changing some status to update other applications. Okay, but I recommend you to study the codes later. And if you need to use, you can just copy. For the Google API, you would do here, just create the API using Google APIs and then bring to here. We have other videos showing how to do it. And for the calendar settings, you can go here. Let me see, start mode. I had a question from Stefan regarding the days of the week. I guess it's somewhere here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have this option here, but I can send you later as soon as I find it, okay? Yeah, Albert is asking about the integration. If it's bi-directional, yes, now it is. When we release it, we did without but after some releases, we've added. So now it's when you include inside Google, it includes inside the calendar, and when you include inside the calendar, it includes inside Google's. Because we added first the calendar with just one direction, but then we implemented bi-directional. Okay, I understood now the question, Stefan. He was asking about the application itself that you had. This is inside here, this form. Let me find it. This is being added by the system. If you want to add Saturday and Sunday, you can add, because we decided to add just from Monday to Friday. But we are doing with the end-to-end relationship. Let me find here this one, the form. Okay, so here you have the fields. So we have day 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then you have the many-to-many relationship. And here we are adding Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you want to add Saturday and Sunday, you can just add 2 more here, 2 more relationships, and it's going to work. Okay, and then for the calendar application, let me see. We have Sunday until Saturday. Yeah. And this is what I'm trying to find, that I think that we can change, but I'm not finding right now. Team is asking about how about the calendar for multiple offices? Show only related office. Well, for the calendar, you can play with categories, because we have here the categories according to the to this example. But you could have different people or different companies, for example, and then you could play. We are playing here with the categories in this way for the type of schedule. But then you could deal with different stuff here and use. And we are filtering according to the doctor as well. So this is optional. You can use as a general calendar. We add the categories we added recently. So it's kind of new for you to use inside the calendar. Yeah, I will try to see how to remove the Saturdays and Sundays, Stefan, and then I can get back to you. Okay. Oh, you can also do with events for sure, because something new for the calendar as well is the events. You have this calendar application, calendar application init, and calendar script init. 3 new events we've added to the calendar recently. So you can now play more to the calendar options that you couldn't do before. Aurelian was asking about the multiple developers. Yeah, for this case, as I said before, we are filtering according to the user here. But you can do not filter and show everybody and use the category. Instead of having the types, the category can be the companies or people. If you go here to fields, we have category, this field category. Inside the field category, we are selecting the treatments. Okay, so for your case, you could select your developers or companies or any table information you need. So the categories will be, for example, developers, and then instead of having um, treatments here, you have developers or companies, and you will see everything inside the calendar. So this can be one option. So just change the select inside the field category. As I said, this field category is a new option inside the calendar application. Category, yeah. Okay, let me open here the YouTube page so I can show you. If you access here the videos, yeah, we have here calendar application. This part 3 we have, let me find here calendar. Okay, we have this one. We have this one using the library full calendar. So this one is more advanced, just using the library itself. If you need some advanced option with this library, which is included inside Scriptcase. Let me see what else we have. And we have integration with Google Calendar as well. This one here shows the integration with Google Calendar. How to create the API inside Google and how to bring it to Scriptcase. Okay, so we have more videos there within our English channel. And I'll leave here also my email address. So if you have more questions, I can recommend you other sources. Marcia@scriptcase.net. Okay. Next week we are going to have another webinar. This is going to be more advanced with my. I used to mix. I add basic demos for those who are starting with Scriptcase, and then I add also advanced just with coding, so you guys can see more advanced options. So next week we are going to do an integration with the Fusion chart library to build a real-time chart. So this is going to be very interesting because we have the chart application with basic options, and then Scriptcase integrates the library Fusion charts, and you can use this for advanced stuff as well. And we are going to bring an example showing real-time charts for you to learn how to integrate, how to use this in an advanced way. Okay, and yeah, we are going to plan more stuff now for the webinars. We were just preparing new features and etc. And I'll come out with more news for the next days. As I said, we are not planning to release a major version for the new feature, just new features to Scriptcase 9. So if you have the Scriptcase updated, you're going to receive everything without needing to convert applications and etc. Because this process is just when we need to change the environment itself, like PHP and etc. So for now, since we have Scriptcase 9 updated with the PHP 7, we'll be able to add the new features to this current version. So just follow the news. We are going to release a new version, a new important version in the next days. We are preparing. But as soon as I have the news, I'll come here and show you in the webinar. Okay. No, Jeff, for the upcoming, we don't use to release the roadmap, just as what's new. My idea with the what's new is to include future and past. So I'm trying to convince the development team for them to include here the upcoming news as well. So you can follow what is releasing and what is going to be released in the future. So this timeline was one step. I'll try the next step because Sales and marketing, I always like to tell the news, but them as developers. Okay, guys, this is all for today. Next week I'll be here again, okay? More frequently now because we have more news to share. So I hope you guys can come next week as well to see this example with the charts. Yeah, I hope you like it, the webinar. Here you have my email address if you have further questions regarding uh, what we saw today. You can import the project and explore yourself inside your script case. I hope you enjoyed the examples, and I'll see you next webinar. Okay, thank you very much for your time. So bye bye, guys, have a nice weekend, see you soon.